Welcome everybody! How's your Friday going so far? I got my order of operations down, so I'm here on time now. I got this whole process streamlined. Today I am actually trying something different with the volume, so let me know how my voice is in relation to the music. Just let me know if I need to change anything. But let's see who's here today. Michelle says, morning, Jackie and friends. Welcome, Michelle. Susie says, hi, Jackie and people here in Barcelona. Awesome. Shauna, good morning from California. Susie, it's a very warm day today. That must be nice. It got really cold here yesterday. And by really cold, I mean 70 degrees. You guys know me. I need like 80 plus sunshine on my skin to feel normal. And it was like good, and then it got chilly last night, and then the husband wanted to take the bike out, and I had my leather on and I was freezing. It was not fun. And then today it like got cold and weird. So that just means it's going to be an inside work day for me. I feel like, yeah, the universe does that for me. It's like, no, you got stuff to do. Here's some cold weather. Who else is here? Good morning, Shauna from California. I think I already said that. You get a double hello. Lindsay says, hi, Jackie and all. Good morning, Helen. Violet, good morning from New York. Romina from San Diego, welcome. Lisa, good morning from Virginia. I love that you guys are like just already throwing out there where you're from. I like seeing where all the people are. Music is a bit louder than you, Susie. Thank you for letting me know. Let me try that. Let me know if that changed anything. Shauna says the music is a beautiful, nice touch. I love having background music. It always helps me like concentrate a little more. Greetings, Jackie. Hi, Bonnie. Helen, yes, 70 and cloudy is cold. Good morning, Jackie, and another Jackie. I have my volume way up. Okay. Let me know if changing my setting. I moved the mic a little bit. Let me know if that helped. Sharon's feeling good after being ill. Welcome, Sharon. Stephanie, hello. Good morning from Canada. Welcome. Christine, happy Friday. Here, perfect now, says Susie. Cool, sound is good here. Christine, thank you. I love it. All right, so my name, yesterday I forgot to introduce myself. That happens often. But my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I am joining you guys from Northern Illinois. That's where all this 70 cloudy BS is going on. And today we're here to talk about what's happening in the skies with the stars and the moon and the sun and the planets. And then we're going to pull some oracle cards to see how the planets would like us to interact with them and all that kind of stuff. Do I want to talk about it? Yeah, it came up, so I'm going to talk about it. When I got married, so my last name used to be Andrakis. I used to be Jacqui Andrakis. And at the time, I was a PE teacher. I was like the coolest gym teacher at school. And so I was about to get married. My last name was going to be Mancuso. And like my husband's friends call him Cuso. Like that's just who he is. He's Cuso. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. And then like at some schools where I worked, the PE teachers weren't like Mrs. Mancuso. They'd be Coach. And so I was like, oh, Coach Cuso, that sounds really cool. I was like excited to like get married and then go back to work and be like, hey guys, you can call me Coach Cuso now. Like that sounds so much cooler than Miss Andrakis. And like turn of events, and I ended up quitting, and I tried the Coach Cuso thing when I was working online teaching, and like you just don't get greeted when you work online with someone as much. So it never stuck. And then this morning I was like, I'm coaching people spiritually now, so I am Coach Cuso. And that, like, it all came full circle, and it took just about 2 years. My 2-year anniversary is next month, so it was just really funny. All of that happened, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So if it resonates with you, if you want to call me Coach Cuso, I was asking for that nickname, I guess. Susie bought the Animal Oracle. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to hear what kind of animals jump out at you. No animals today. Surprise. We're not using an animal deck today. I love it, Gina. Hi, Coach Cuso. It was just one of those things. I don't know. You gotta sound cool. So we're going to talk about the new moon that happens tomorrow night or Sunday, depending on where you are in the world. And we're also going to talk about Saturn retrograde. Now let's just jump into it. Let's just jump into it so I can confuse you all with astrology. I'm just kidding. Lindsay, you can hear the crows? Cool. Yeah, crows have been prevalent in my neighborhood this year, and it's cool, and I'm like trying to work with the energy of crows. Yesterday and today they were really strong. I'm glad that you guys can hear them. They usually affirm things for me, so if I have like a thought or if I say something and the crows go nuts, I interpret that as them saying like yes. And I actually listen into how many times they crow and like translate the numerology into it. All of this stuff that is happening in my intuition all the time, it's like happening way too fast for me to put into words. So that's where that joke came from about like, let me confuse you guys with astrology. Because even today I sat down with the chart for the new moon, and before I had like two bullet points written on my notes, I had like a whole story in my head, and I had to laugh at myself. So Shauna likes Coach Cuso. Helen's gonna call me Cuso. I love it. Stephanie, me too. Those crows, heard them right at the beginning. Cool. Addie, crows are here lots lately. What do they mean? Everything in the spiritual sense has 1,000 different meanings. So it's frustrating to hear, but it's like, what do they mean to you? To me, crows, they're just like there's such a deep wisdom to crows. They're so intelligent. They are very human-like in like the rituals that they do, but they're in the bird world. So anything that takes flight to me represents a higher knowing, being able to like fly up out of the situation and see it at a higher vantage point. And I mean, crows are black, so it's like using the darkness to see above. But that's for me. What else? Hello, AJ. Romina has a lot of crows. Shauna was ignoring them. Gina recently introduced to an oracle deck called Urban Crow Oracle. Changed my perspective of crows. Thank you for naming that, Gina. I am calling Urban Crow Oracle deck into my life right now. And I will keep you guys posted with how long it takes to appear for me. That's cool. I've actually been wanting a Crow Oracle deck, so that's cool. I was on a walk yesterday and another fox showed up, Christine. Yeah, fox energy is working strong with you. Slyness, that's the first thing that comes to mind with me, but whatever it means to you. I'll be on the lookout for a crow, Jackie, and then I should ask my new spirit guide that I haven't met yet. You just haven't named them yet. You know them. I almost got attacked by a crow, Romina, and then you ran away. That's awesome. That's hilarious. Thank you, Shauna, for your donation. It's very, very much appreciated. And Christine, you are foxy. Maybe that's your theme song for this year. All right, new moon. New moon tomorrow night. If you're in the States, Central, Mountain, and Pacific, it'll happen on Saturday night. If you're Eastern or elsewhere, it'll happen Sunday morning. The new moon peaks at 11:37 p.m. Central Time. New moons represent new beginnings. Planting seeds. It's like a fresh start. It's the darkness, right? It's the dark moon. Were you guys with me yesterday? All those nighttime animals that came up yesterday morning for me. New moon is darkness, so it's literally like planting a seed underground, burying it down where you can't see the light, but you planted the seed, and then as the moon begins to illuminate, you start to see things from a different perspective and all that stuff. So if you want to look at where 26 degrees of Gemini falls in your chart. That's where the new moon will be peaking in your chart. So you can see which house 26 degrees of Gemini falls in. Bonnie, thank you kindly for your donation as well. So when you look at the zodiac circle, it moves counterclockwise. This is something that like I forget to mention, and it's been brought into my awareness a few times, but when you move around the zodiac circle, you move counterclockwise, which is like counterintuitive for us. So if you've been doing it clockwise, just know that you're not alone, because a few people in my life recently have brought this up to me, so that tells me I'm supposed to be talking about it. So if you look at the Gemini glyph on the outside of your chart, and I'm trying to see, where is it on here? So Gemini, here's the back of my phone, because my phone case is astrology, of course. Gemini, it looks like is that the pi symbol with a line underneath? So you're going to look for Gemini, not to be confused with Pisces. Pisces is like the H. But look for Gemini. And then towards the very end, right before you get to Cancer, that's where 26 degrees of Gemini is in your chart. I hope that little bogus explanation helped. So just know that whatever house it falls in, you could do a quick internet search. I have a lot to say today, so I'm not going to like talk about all the houses today. But just quick internet search, like 7th house Bonnie astrology. It'll tell you it's all about like relationships and stuff. So whatever that means, like whatever you draw out of that description, whatever you already know about the houses, that would be an area of your life that is more receptive to new beginnings at this time. However, if it doesn't resonate with you, like if you don't need a new beginning in any type of relationships right now, if your focus is elsewhere, by all means, set your new intention elsewhere. Astrology is a guide. It's a blueprint. It's not like a set in stone concrete, you have to do it this way. You have free will. So I'll just say it that way. So the new moon happens at 26 degrees of Gemini, and we are forming a T-square right now, tomorrow with the new moon. And it's a very interesting T-square because there's a point on the chart that isn't normally talked about, but it's something that I'm going to do my best to teach you guys about today. So we have a square between, so a T-square is when there are 3 squares going on in the chart. You have an opposition, so you have a 180 degree aspect, and then there's a square in the middle, so it makes a giant T in the sky. We're going to talk first about the square. So the new moon is at 26 degrees of Gemini, squaring Neptune at 27 degrees of Pisces. Whenever there's a square, it's because there is some tension, because they are the same mode, they're the same quality. So Gemini and Pisces are both mutable signs. Mutable signs are the ones that are like ready to switch it up. They've seen the show, they've done the research, they know what we need next, and they're ready to just like switch it up and keep going. So new moon, which means the sun and the moon are at 26 of Gemini. Neptune is at 27 degrees of Pisces. And then the big player here that I had to do some research on, the galactic center is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. What the hell is the galactic center? This is something that I feel is like one of those more advanced astrology topics. This has been in my awareness for some time because it plays in my personal life. And I was just so curious about it. And like all of the astrologers that I listen to have been talking about this new moon opposing the galactic center. What is the galactic center? It's literally the center of the universe. It's where all stars birth from before they spiral out into the Milky Way, which is my understanding, right? I am still learning about this galactic center. So today I was just so enamored by this topic. I did a little bit of research, and I'm going to credit this article. The website was called The Loveliness. I just Googled like, how does the galactic center affect my life or something? And I found like this really cool interview with an astrologer, and it resonated a lot. So the galactic center at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, it's across the sky, like 180 degrees away from the new moon. The galactic center is where we bring in universal wisdom. So what the heck is universal wisdom? I feel like that could be such a cliche word. Universal wisdom is the epitome of truth. It is honest, blunt truth. Like undeniable, this is what it is, you can't argue with it. And if you think about Sagittarius energy, that's exactly what Sagittarius energy is. They point things out that like trigger things within you, but it's truth, and it's just the truth that hurts. So being across from the new moon, this article was saying that if planets are opposite the galactic center, so 27-ish degrees of Gemini, this new moon is at 26, it's kind of like this new moon is like the catcher's mitt trying to catch information coming out of the galactic center, trying to catch that universal wisdom in order to Gemini translate. Gemini is all about communication, mental process, to translate it into information that Earth people can understand. That was literally a quote from the article. I thought it was awesome. It was also presented that the galactic center is like where the teachers of the galaxy have their headquarters. So it's not the teacher's lounge. I'm trying to think of like where teachers actually have a headquarters. It's like the staff meeting. It's like the staff meeting of the teachers of the galaxy is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius all the time. It's always right there. So this new moon is like absorbing and catching energy from those wise teachers of the galaxy. So this information, whatever's coming through, it's coming through to the new moon in Gemini, this new beginning of translating this galactic wisdom. I feel like this has a lot to do with the Saturn retrograde that's also starting tomorrow, and I feel like that's a sign saying that it's going to take some patience. It's like we're catching this information now, and while Saturn is going through his retrograde, which I'll give details on in a second, that's our time to process and translate this information. And then in November, that's when things might start to click. I'm getting ahead of myself. I get really excited about this stuff. So I don't want to leave out Neptune because, so we have the galactic center at 27 of Sag. We have the new moon across at 26 of Gemini. And then Neptune is squaring both of those points. It's the T-square, it's the apex, 27 of Pisces. Whenever there is a T-square, there's always an opposition and then a square in the center. And it's like that's where the energy releases. That's, you go to the T, the apex, in this case Neptune at 27 of Pisces. That's where you go to get some release from the tension. So if you're feeling tension, like, I know these messages are coming in, there's crows, there's raccoons, there's cats, like what does this all mean? There's foxes, like what's happening? There's this number, there's that number, like there's information, but like what does this mean? You release that information at 27 of Pisces in Neptune. So it's like this is gonna, patience is key. Neptune is a slow, watery planet. It's meant to be unclear at this time. That's it. Neptune is the god of the seas. He is the dreamer. He is the ruler of our unconscious, subconscious. There's a difference, and I'm forgetting right now. He's the ruler of the subconscious. So that tells me that these messages are coming in, and our conscious mind, our Gemini mind, is going to take some time to fully wrap around what all this means. But Neptune is catching it over here. The subconscious already knows. It's already being reprogrammed. And things are kind of like happening in the background that you're not aware of just yet. Let me see what you guys are talking about in the chat, because that's what I have to say about the new moon. Thank you, Michelle, for your donation. Oh, nice, Christine. Thank you. Stephanie, I just tried looking. Mine is just a list style chart. I'll have to go after and find the wheel on another site. So I use astro.com. I put it in the chat. I can't put links in the chat, so you're going to have to like literally actually type it in, but astro.com is the website that I use. It just makes the most sense to me, but there's plenty of free natal charts on the internet. You can just search free natal chart and see what comes. Good morning, Nikki. Thanks, Bonnie, for coming in. Jackie, is the Galactic Center only relevant for T-squares? I've never heard you reference it before. Is it only relevant for T-squares? No, it's relevant for, it's a point in the sky. So it's a fixed point. I'm struggling with this question because I don't fully understand the Galactic Center yet. I'm like trying to wrap my head around it and teach, but like I feel like it's so important for this new moon right now. Yeah, I think I might have referenced it like once or twice when things were happening around it, because I'm still learning what the impact is of it. But I feel like it's where you can go for all your galactic wisdom. Like if you need truth, look to 27 degrees of Sagittarius in your chart. What house is that in? Like that's your house of truth. That's how it feels right now to me. That's not anything I read. That's just what came through when I was trying to answer the question. What if you have a planet conjunct in Gemini in your natal chart? What degree is it, Jackie? What planet and what degree? I can give you a more specific. Let me talk about this Saturn retrograde because I feel like there's a very close link to this galactic wisdom coming in with the timeline of Saturn retrograde. Thanks, Coach Kuso, says Shauna. Thanks for forcing the nickname. I love it. Mercury at 22 degrees Gemini. So if you feel, oh wow, Jackie, it's like your Mercury is that mitt, that catcher's mitt all of the time. The Galactic Center is always at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, and your mind is always catching that information and translating it. So it might be like you have these incredible downloads, but like your mind is always just like, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? How do I tell other people? How do I make it known? It's a wide orb, so it's 5 degrees away. So it might not be like super strong. If you have a planet at 27 degrees of Gemini, anyone, that planet is your catcher's mitt. That's always trying to explain. You guys still with me? I'm trying to explain this in like simple terms, but this is not simple information. Helen, 7th. The new moon in the 7th, that's a new start with your relationships, one-on-one relationships. So whatever this galactic wisdom is that is being caught by the dark moon, that's going to take some time to put it into human words. Your subconscious feels it, your soul feels it, your intuition feels it, but I feel like it's really like Saturn. Okay, so when any planet goes retrograde, they appear to be moving backwards in the sky. They're not actually moving backwards. It's just an optical illusion with the way that the orbit is. But when planets are retrograde, they invite us to use the RE words. So revisit things, rethink things, reevaluate things. So I feel like the Saturn retrograde is just inviting us to like reinterpret some messages that have been coming through. And then, so Saturn is retrograde from tomorrow, June 17th, until November 4th. And I feel like that's how long it's going to take us to translate this deep, deep wisdom that's coming in right now. Yeah. One last thing about the new moon that I forgot to mention. This new moon is in Gemini. Gemini's archetype is the twins. So this came from Molly McCord. I'm stealing her idea. I'm borrowing her idea. I am extending her idea. So the twins, duality, new moons, you usually set a new intention. This new moon feels like two intentions are what want to be set. This is a year number 7. Karmic time, perhaps. So I'm feeling this like one intention of your logical brain, like what your Mercury, Gemini, logical brain wants, and another intention based on what you feel. You got that Neptune intuition. So I would recommend to set one intention based off your thoughts and one intention based off your gut or your heart. So that was just an opinion. You could take it or leave it. But I invite you to, so I even set a reminder in my to-do list to check back in November to see the progress of these intentions. Because whatever you're setting today, I feel like Saturn is gonna walk back over that and help you understand it in a deeper way by early November. So Saturn retrograde is from tomorrow until November 4th. Saturn is currently at 7 degrees of Pisces, and throughout his retrograde, he's going to retrograde back to 0 degrees of Pisces. So Saturn entered Pisces in March at 0 degrees. So he's made his way up to 7. He's going to retrograde back, asking us to review your spiritual structure. Saturn is the planet of boundaries, regulation, structure, putting things in a box, limiting things. And Pisces is all about your spirituality. So like reviewing practices that you've implemented, spiritual practices that you've implemented since March. I feel like Saturn is here to ask you, are these practices serving my highest good? And the universe loves to give you tests to test, to evaluate your path, right? So this might be if you are not in alignment with your highest spiritual practice, like if you're doing something that isn't serving your highest good, a test might come through that just like gives you a really crappy meditation and you're like, well, that did nothing. That could be Saturn saying like, hey, are you sure that this is the type of meditation you want to do? Like maybe something different is better for you. Tests can come in a whole variety of ways. When you hear the word test, I feel like most people get that like, ooh, I don't want to test. Like that's difficult, that's hard. But tests aren't always hard. Tests can really be something as simple as like, oh, I came out of this meditation and I don't feel any different. I've noticed that the last handful of times. Maybe it's time for me to try this new type. Something as simple as that. So, or it can come in bigger ways. I don't invite you to attract bigger tests. If it's meant for you, it's going to happen. But when tests do come, we always have two options. We can go into victim mentality and say, oh my God, this is so hard. Why do I have to deal with this right now? Or the simpler way is we can say, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what I'm learning from this. And those are obviously not the easiest choices to make off the bat. Making choices like that takes practice and effort, but you got it. So just know that from now until November, Saturn in Pisces retrograding, reevaluating, revisiting how you are structuring your spirituality. Specifically things that you've put into practice since March. So if something tests your spirituality, I'm seeing that I just saw like new information comes to mind and then you're like, whoa, do I really believe that anymore? I invite you to trust your intuition, trust your own moral compass, trust your own center, Whatever feels like truth to you is your truth. And it's okay if it's different from someone else's truth, because we're all on our own paths. And you don't need to convince anyone of your truth. You can share it. If they like it, cool. If not, cool. So perhaps it's the spiritual shift. Perhaps it's something that you will reevaluate through this Saturn retrograde that helps translate the incoming galactic center wisdom messages from tomorrow's new moon. Did I completely confuse you guys? Are you guys still with me? Does that make sense? I feel like the words are not translating what I'm trying to get out. Maybe even come back and watch this replay on YouTube in November and see if that feels good. So I do put all of my Insight Timer replays on YouTube. So you could search Jacqui Mancuso on YouTube. Ginger's still with me. Thank you, Ginger. Violet says, my pup transitioned last week, and I felt my lesson was to learn to ask for and accept help. Something I didn't do when my dad died and I grieved alone. Thank you for sharing that, Violet. And I love the way that you're translating that message. Instead of like lamenting on, having to transition your pup, you're accepting the lesson. You're accepting like, oh, I can do it this way. I don't have to do it the same way that I did in the past. I can do it a new way. Sending love. Sending love. Stephanie's getting it. All right, cool. Deborah, this is the best session I've ever heard from you, Jacqui. Right on target. Cool. I'm excited for the cards then. Shauna says, I'm getting it. You're a great coach. Thank you. Yeah. Cool. We're in sync. I love it. All right, guys. So I have 2 decks. The first deck, I want to ask, what types of intentions serve our highest good at this new moon? What types of intentions serve our highest good at this new moon? So for that today, I will be... Yvonne, you joined right in time for the cards. Our first deck is the Star Codes Astro Oracle, asking what types of intentions serve our highest good at this new moon. So I always do group readings. I invite you to send your energy into this deck, asking your highest guides what types of intentions serve your highest good at this new moon. Was that 3? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 3 came out right away. I don't even need to do my explanation today. The universe is moving us right along. I'm going to show you the cards. You're going to see the same image 3 times, but I want you to notice if anything in your environment changes when I hold up a certain card. The whole reading is for everyone, but if your guides want you to laser focus on one card over another or 2 cards over another, they might make the sun come out, or your eye might twitch, or you might fart, like something. Your dog might start barking. You might just know a number between 1 and 3 right now. So don't put too much emphasis on it. Just go with it. Just go with it. Maybe accept that the whole reading is for you and then let go of expectations and just wait. Just wait to see if anything happens. So here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat if any of those are calling out to you, and I'm going to show them one more time just in case you need a refresher. Here's the back of card number 1. Card number 2. And card number 3. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Jackie says 3 is the focus, but all. Michelle 2, Susie 3, Bonnie 3, Ginger 2, Ann 2, Addie 2, Judith 3, Anique 1, Christina 2, Lindsay 2, tingles near my third eye. Christine, all 3 for me. A bird flew very close to my window when you said they all may be for you. That's great. That's great. Nikki 1, Stephanie 2 and 3, Yvonne 2 and 3, Tiffany 2, Helen 1, Shauna 2 and 3, Gina 1 and 3, Katie 2. My son yelled out, "Mom, I look so cool." I love it. AJ 2 and a little bit of 3, Deborah 3, beautiful. What types of intentions serve our highest good at this new moon? Card number 1 is the North Node. This is card number 34, which is a 7. I'll just say that. The message is future. The North Node, or ascending node, represents a place the soul longs to be, where fate beckons. This is uncharted territory. You don't have a map. The North Node calls you to territory that doesn't have a particular charge and can either be an exciting exploration or start off a bit bland and becomes more satisfying as you proceed. The lunar nodes are the points on the zodiac where the moon's orbit crosses the ecliptic. When the moon, sun, and earth exactly line up here, a shadow mysteriously covers the sun or moon and creates an eclipse. The ancients thought a giant creature cast those shadows and referred to the nodes as the head and tail of a dragon. The point where the moon heads north is called the North Node, the dragon's head, and calls you forward. Think about where you would like to be and what you would like to be doing in 10 years. And make this a beacon that guides you through the time in between. Notice what that piques your curiosity, that's something that excites and beckons you, even if it's unfamiliar. Practice beginner's mind and learn the basics. Some people may resist your change and tell you to stay in your lane, but that is just their discomfort talking. Advisors, friends, or employees who were once perfect for you may no longer be the companions you need on this fresh path. If they truly wish the best for you, they will eventually celebrate as your world expands. If your field of expertise feels too small or confined, branch out and explore new territory. Along this path are people you need to meet and situations that push you out of your comfort zone and call you to your soul's growth. I love it. Yeah, Susie, wow, 10 years. Oh my gosh, more dragon energy, Helen. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even put that together, the dragon's tail. But the North Node wants you to dream big, make giant intentions right now. Make intentions that are literally setting you down the path to create the life that you want in 10 years. I got my dogs validating for us. They started validating as soon as I was reading this card. And if people come into your life to tell you that you're nuts, to tell you that you can't do whatever it is that you want to do for whatever reason, it's literally just because they can't see themselves doing it. And like they literally can't process that a person can achieve that type of goal. So don't let that hold you back. I can't tell you the number of times that people have told me that I'm crazy. I fully know that I am like a rose-colored glasses fairy, like everything's great, we're just gonna make it all happen. And people poo-poo on me all the time. They tell me to check myself, they tell me to make realistic goals, and I don't, because that's not how my life works. That's how your life works right now. I hope it gets better. not you guys, but like but that's it. If people try to tell you that you can't do something, it's just because they can't see themselves doing it. It has nothing to do with you. So throw other people's opinions out the window. Tell them to keep their poo to themselves. I took that little quote. I remember where this came from, so I want to pay this guy a little bit of credit. There's this Native American guy on TikTok. His name's Dougie Hall, I'm pretty sure. But he's like what's that called? A rodeo person. But he comes on and he always has like his little information, and if you like it, use it. If not, don't worry about it. And that was one of his things. Like if people tell you that you can't achieve your dreams, it's just because they can't see themselves doing it. That's it. Anik lost connection and missed all of this. Here's one of those tests, Anik. I'm gonna call you out because I know you personally and I'm not teasing you, but this is one of those spiritual tests. Is it an, ugh, I lost connection? Or is it, that's interesting. I wonder why I lost connection. What am I supposed to learn from this? Maybe it's that going with the flow, unexpected type of stuff. There's a reason. There's a reason why you didn't hear that card at that time, and that's okay. Shauna says that's so powerful. Stephanie, no shame in my game. Weird and crazy means I am on the right path, going against the grain. Yeah, and when you do things that are outside of the norm, it terrifies people who follow the norm because they don't understand how you have the willpower, the confidence, the trust to do outside of what everyone else is doing. Christine says, being a realist is actually a pessimistic trait. So you go, girl, stay positive. I'm playing with those words. I've had, because the whole Sagittarius thing and this Galactic Center and Sagittarius energy, and there's like so much. But if you guys have been following me, you know that I had a couple students in a row. Like, there was a time in my life where I had like 6 strong Sagittarius man influences in my life. And I felt like I was learning the dichotomy of good and bad. Like, what does this all mean? What is realism versus optimism versus pessimism? What is it? It's still translating. Connection just came back when you said Anik. I love it. Susie, absolutely true. Fiona, if someone says it's not possible to make my dreams come true, I tell them, watch me show you. I love it. Wait, I wish I had $1 for every time someone told me I was weird. Yeah, that'd be nice. I have no... Susie, I have no clue a sign of what because I didn't hear the message. Yeah, it's okay. Everything's great. Everything's great, guys. Helen says, you keep going forward, marching to your own drummer. That's what I do and it works. Card number 2 today brings us Venus. Card number 21, and this is Beloved. This is asking what type of intentions serve our highest good at this new moon. Venus symbolizes your heart, romance, and the creative process. It's what attracts you, what you value, and how you value yourself. Venus rules Taurus and Libra and can only be in the same sign as the sun or in the 2 signs on either side. Venus is one of 2 planets who appear to rotate backwards, an apt symbol for your heart's unique path. It rotates so slowly that one side is always boiling, the other side cooler. Love blows hot and cold. Soften, charm, open the heart. Investigate how you can make the situation more beautiful, more fair and lovely. Remember this Venusian truth. People are fascinated by those who find them fascinating. Use diplomacy and seduction and let others come to you. Engage creativity, generosity, and affection. Venus calls you to her heart. to romance, sings to you as a creative muse, asks you what you value, what you want enough to get yourself in trouble. Come to know your heart. Know what you are passionate about, and when you stir other people's passions. When your heart hurts, you can express the higher notes of Venus through acts of compassion, affection, or creativity. All become medicine for your sore heart. Pull out the art supplies and paint how you feel. Rescue a puppy. Help a person who needs loving kindness even more than you do. So what types of intentions serve our highest good at this new moon? Intentions that literally come from the heart. Intentions that spread love. Intentions that invite love into your life. It's as everything in this universe is, how do you say it? Reciprocal. It's a flow. It's a currency. What you put out is what you give back. So if you want more love in your life, start by giving more love in your life. It'll also tune you into those feelings a little bit more. You know, like usually when you want love, you have like a negative connotation of love. So you keep thinking about how much you don't have love. But then if you give more love, then you're in that feel-good place of acting from the heart and giving from the heart. And then it's just like more in your awareness that love is all around. Michelle says, Venus is my ruling planet. Libra rising. Love you, Jacqui. Oh, thank you, Jacqui. I thought it said love you. I love you too, Michelle. Kelly, Venus is exalted in Pisces energy. Yes. Ginger, love this. Helen loves the artwork on this card. Kelly, I want this deck. Aw, Michelle, so sweet. So whatever comes from the heart, and if that is what you want for your life, maybe create this North Node idealized version of your life literally from your heart. And just see what comes. Let's see what the last card brings. And then after this, I'm gonna pull one more card. Here, guys, this is the deck, Star Codes Astro Oracle. After this last card, I'm gonna pull a card from another deck to ask one last question. Card number 3 today points us to the 11th house of community. If your chart were a village map, the 11th house would be the community center, with rooms for small meetings and great gatherings, also serving the town council or state senate. The 11th house is a place to meet old friends and make new ones, a place to work as a team, share a song, and collaborate for the common good. It includes all our collective experiences, meetings, circles, protest marches, group meditations, sobriety meetings, social gatherings, and teamwork. Look for the answer to your question among your social circles, spiritual circles, and work cohorts. Enjoy your posse. At work, think about how to put together a dream team with complementary skills and mutual respect for one another. Contemplate how to make meetings nimble and dynamic, exciting and efficient. Notice how you are affected by group mindsets, the psychic milieu you share with this circle. If you like what you become in their presence, engage. If you're feeling lonely, join a group with a shared interest and look around to see who's with you. If you're in spiritual pain, find a circle in which you can pray, explore rituals, or practice Reiki together. If you're having trouble meditating, consider practicing at a Zen center or with another group that allows you to tap into a meditative collective mindset. To improve your love life, consider deepening your friendships first. Take the pressure off a romantic relationship and allow it to unfold organically by building a stable circle of friends who meet your needs. If you are honest about what you are looking for, your friends may be able to connect you with a possible partner. In an ongoing relationship, romance may be lovely, but for this question, you need to deepen the friendship between you and your partner and build trust through shared experiences. Oh, yeah, I feel like this is a Helen card. I mean, not to discredit anyone else, I just know a lot about Helen. I feel like that last whole part was just speaking directly to Helen. And anyone else who's having relationship troubles right now. But in general, I feel like this card is calling you to your community. Immerse yourself with people who like what you like. Immerse yourself with people who already have the skills that you want to have, who already have the mindset that you want for yourself, who already have the type of life that you desire for yourself. You become the people that you're closest to. If your work environment is full of people who are not in alignment with your highest good, you're going to be drawn down to what's not for your highest good. If you choose to immerse yourself with people who vibe with what it is that you desire, like hang out with the people who are already above you and like allow yourself, not above you, farther down the path that you are going. Hang out with those kind of people and don't make yourself seem small. Just assume that you already are them, because you are. You are whatever you want to be. It's your mind that tells you that you're not. So gather with the people who have what you want. That's it. Oh, hi, Dr. Monica. Such perfect timing to arrive now. Yvonne resonates with 2 and 3. These, again, are confirmation of my thoughts. I love it. You're welcome, Eddie. Third card, 3 hands. Oh, I didn't even notice that. There's 3 hands there. Erin says, my 25-year high school reunion is in August. Recently moved back to my hometown and received the invite. Maybe I'll make some new old connections. That's great. You never know. You never know. So what types of intentions serve our highest good at this new moon? Intentions that draw you to what you want 10 years from now, that are based in love, that connect you with people in your community, in person or virtual. You know, it's like we're in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is all about internet and all that stuff, so it's different because I'm a Taurus, but you know, if it has to be online, that's a starting point. It'll at least get you in that vibration to then attract people in your personal life. So maybe set the intention to find a group who does what it is that you want to do. I feel it's a good time to mention joining Jacqui's Astrology Patreon. Oh my gosh, Bonnie. I was like, why? Why would it be right now? Because of the community aspect. Yeah, let me tell you guys about that real quick. And Christine, thank you for your donation. Fiona, thank you for your donation. We do have one more card left. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, I very much appreciate your donations. Thank you, Yvonne. If you haven't followed me on Insight Timer, please do so. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is just my name, Jacqui Mancuso. I put the replays there. My link tree is also in my bio, so you can, or in my Insight Timer profile, you go to like About, I think it's all the way on the right, About, and my link tree is there if you want to just see everything else I have going on. But Bonnie brought up this Patreon community, and thank you. I need that reminder sometimes. So for Aries season in March, I started this Patreon community called Embody Astrology. If you didn't start in March, it's not too late. Like, you are more than welcome to join this group. But essentially what it is we meet twice a month, sometimes more if I'm feeling inspired. But we meet on a group Zoom call twice a month. And the first part, so like on Monday, I'm going to meet with this group and we're going to talk about the upcoming Cancer season. So I'm going to give my little teacher presentation PowerPoint on what Cancer season is. to understand all the different facets of it. And then I give an embodiment technique to bring those Cancer energies into your life for throughout that zodiac season, just to like keep your mind and keep your energy attuned to what's actually happening in the skies. Because when the sun moves into a new zodiac sign, it's like inviting us to shine through those types of energies. And then we meet halfway through the season to just check in and see what's going on, and that's it. But this is becoming much more than just a student-teacher relationship. Like, I just attract tribes, and that's cool, and I love that. Like, I don't like being the leader, I like being the facilitator. So I'll hold the meeting, I'll hold the space, but then it's a group effort. Like, we all make the thing. It's not me telling you what to do. So it is a really nice, enjoyable energy. So feel free to check it out. The link is in my link tree, or you can search patreon.com/Jacqui Mancuso. And then one more thing that I actually meant to mention at the start of... She tries to hold the space. Come on, Christine. I wanted to mention this at the beginning of Gemini season, and I forgot, but this is the perfect time with the Gemini new moon. So I love music. I was a musician for a very long time in my life. I have a deep appreciation for music, and I'm all over the place with what I listen to. And it's just fun for me to make these zodiac season playlists. So for my Embody Astrology people, I've been making like a playlist of songs that represent Aries energy, and then the Taurus energy, and then the Gemini energy, and it's like fun, you know? And during Gemini season, I was like, people don't have to pay for my playlists. So those are free, and you can get the links on my Patreon. So just go to the Patreon. The rest of the stuff will be locked, but the playlists are free. And with the new moon in Gemini tomorrow, it might help to bring the Gemini energy up just by listening to this fun, silly playlist. So if you like music and you want to get into the brain of how all this works and everything, I don't know, check it out. It's fun. They're on Spotify. So if you don't pay for Spotify, you can still listen to the playlists on shuffle with ads. So it is what it is. But yeah, thank you guys for bringing that up. I appreciate it. I appreciate Jacqui's donations. Yeah, and it's never too late. Like, all the replays of everything that happened, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, they're already on Patreon to share, to review and everything. So yeah, feel free to search patreon.com/Jacqui Mancuso. And just take out the spaces. And yeah, all the information's there. If you have questions, you could send me an email and everything. But yeah, there's your community. Let's ask, what does Saturn, what is Saturn trying to show us during his retrograde? So Saturn retrograde, if you join late, that's okay. Saturn retrograde starts tomorrow. He is revisiting our spiritual structure until November 4th. So we're gonna use the Ask Your Guides deck to see what Saturn is trying to show us through his retrograde. And let's see what comes out. Please send your energy into this deck if you want to. You don't have to, if it feels right. However it looks to you, if you like emanate it through your palm, if you tap your screen, if you shoot it through your eyeballs, if you blow on your screen, if you create a heart link to the cards, whatever. There's no right or wrong way to do intuition. Oh, I love it, Michelle. Let's see what Saturn would like to show us throughout his retrograde. Everyone who's watching this right now, repeat the question. We're asking Saturn what he is trying to show us during his retrograde. My heart sank when this fell out, is all I'm gonna say. Unconditional love from the Divine Mother, and this is the first card in this deck. So that already tells me he's trying to bring us back to the basics. And what is there if there's not love? Everything is love. The key words of this card are acceptance, fulfillment, nurturing, affection. You are a precious child of the universe. The Divine Mother is present, urging you to open your heart and drink from her cup of unconditional love. You are her beloved and treasured child. Feel her endless flow of divine love streaming toward you. Any self-rejection or self-criticism you may be feeling at this time are wounds inflicted upon you by an unconscious world and are not part of your divine soul. The Divine Mother is working with your soul to relieve you of these psychic injuries and doubts. Let her restore you to wholeness. Divine Mother's counsel: accept what is holy and true about you. You are a lovable and a much loved child of the universe. The Divine Mother's love is available to you in all ways. Accept, breathe, relax, and allow her nurturing vibrations to soothe your soul. Ask her to still your doubts and insecurities. The Divine Mother's message to you: you are forever my beautiful and beloved child. Saturn wants us to know that we are infinitely loved unconditionally all of the time by the universe. The universe, God, Source, Spirit, the Divine Mother, whatever you call it, there's a force that loves us. And even when the universe sends people to us who might not treat us so nicely, it's just to help us find our own inner love. They're all just little tests to help us find that unconditional love from Source. Love runs hot and cold. Oh, I have full body chills. That came from the Venus card. Love runs hot and cold. Tough love. I'm going to give you this test. I'm going to give you this situation. I'm going to give you this set of circumstances in order for you to come back and find me, is what the universe says. Did beloved come up before too? I don't remember, Lindsay, but thank you. All the love in the comments. Thank you guys for being here with me today. Thank you, Bridget, for your donation. I must run, but I so appreciate your time today. I so appreciate your, oh my gosh, Michelle is absolutely sobbing. Thank you. I love tears. The water's coming out. Love this reading, Christine. Yeah, me too. Thanks, Shauna. Coach Kuso is emerging again. I love it. I will be back. I don't even know when. Let me check my calendar to let you know. Tuesday and Friday next week. Tuesday and Friday, I'll be back at the same time, 8:15 Central on Insight Timer. Replays always go on YouTube, so you can hop back and double check if you need to rehear something there. And then Bonnie also puts the text recaps of the cards in the group that is on Insight Timer called Our Spiritual Community. So that's it. Set your intentions far from love with your community. And like, what you can set an intention for 10 years from now, but how do you embody it? You take step one. You don't need to know the next 300 steps. That's the universe's job. You just need to take the step that you're stepping right now, which is also kind of what came out yesterday. So if you weren't in yesterday's class event, feel free to go check it out on YouTube. and stuff. But thank you, Lindsay, for your donation. Thank you for all the donations. They're so appreciated. Maybe that's how I'm calling in this, what was it called? Urban Crow Oracle? Maybe today's donations are just going to go right to that Oracle deck so that we can all use it. That feels right. That feels right. I'm going to do that. Thank you guys so much. I can't put it into words how much I appreciate you giving me the space to do what I love. So, love to all. Namaste. Sending you ease as you translate the messages from the Galactic Center this new moon.